All right, we are back, guys. This is episode, I don't know. This is episode like 3 or 4 or whatever.
4, I think. Yeah.
Episode 4. So we're back on our Zero to Hero adventure. Today we've got Veladan with us again, who's on build.
Hello, hello. Well,
All right.
Glad to be back.
And I'm starting off hungry and thirsty, so always a good start. But let's go ahead and get this rolling here. So last time on the adventure, you're following, right?
Yep, I'm following you.
All right, sweet. Let's you know what? Let's do this. Let's start off with a beer. Let's do that. Let's keep it fun. Got a mug. I'm buying you a mug. And boom. All right. Yeah, I wish there was a cheers command, but close enough. All right, let's get this going. I don't know what
for the Shire.
Yeah, right. Even though we're Rohan and Eridorian. All right, I do need some. Oh, did I give you the mug?
Yeah, I drank it.
Okay, nice. 2 mugs in here. All right, I need food. Let's go find some food. I think there's some food up here real quick. We'll get the cheap stuff.
Gonna gather food off the ground.
Let me get the group manager going here. Group panel. Yeah, I was so like the last couple of times have been can we eat hay? Is that what's going on here? Why are these marked?
I think they're because it just rebooted. There's no like food on the ground. Maybe.
Oh, maybe. Here, can we fish? You want to try fishing?
I dropped my swimming pole or my fish. Oh, there's one there. Okay, my swimming pole.
Fish.
My fishing
swimming
rod.
pole. You're like a gondola guy, just kind of like. Nice. All right. Well, I'm level 7. You're still what? Level 5, 6, or 6?
I am level 6.
Nice. Yes. So that's fine. There's been very slow progress over the last 2. Very slow progress. So
but it's been interesting and fun. So.
Yeah, we'll be cruising through this a little bit longer. I'm getting nothing with this fishing rod. We're gonna give this another like 10 seconds. If it doesn't work, we're gonna breeze on by. Maybe milk a cow. But large fish breaks the surface. Yeah, that was something that the previous guest was talking about, Kofer, which I gotta say I really appreciate as well. Is like there's just so many like fun random things to do, like fishing, right? In MUME or and I
tell when new people play MUME and they're confronted with all this text and they feel overwhelmed, like, oh, what can I do? And I tell them more often than not, if you think you can do something, you can do it. And I think that's just a testament to like 30 years or whatever of development, but like, fish or pick plants or milk a cow, like whatever it is, like there's probably a way to do it, which I think is cool.
Yeah, and it adds so much texture to the game. All right, we are like scavenging hardcore. I'm just
2 more apples there.
I'm just completely messing up all my commands right now. I am rusty as hell.
Take that pony too.
Yeah, I'll grab the pony, and I think there's a horse in somewhere around here. I'm gonna eat flour. Flour is very
sack
filling.
of flour, yeah. Just shovel that flour in your mouth.
Right. There should be horses over here, but I guess they're maybe not loaded.
Okay,
right now.
I will find one.
Oh, here's one. You want to grab the docile horse?
Oh, okay.
Nice. All right. Group the pony. Group horse.
I label every mount, even if I'm on orc. Bill the pony.
Oh, really?
That's my mount label for everything.
Nice. Mine is Naz is my default, which poor Nazgum.
You picked up on that.
Coincides with his name. All right, we'll go ahead and start XPing on some of the easy stuff here. I was thinking this time we'll probably be a little bit more focused on like, because now we're level 6 and 7. Just killing anything. Ooh, I need to wield my spear here. Just killing anything isn't going to give us much XP now, so now we kind of need to focus in a little bit. And we're almost about the level where we probably want to start upgrading our equipment slightly as well.
Yep.
Because right now I'm still using the basic set, and I think you are too, right?
Yep, we can either like scavenge stuff that's loads, although the reboot might have messed that up, but or just gather money and.
Well, let's talk about that for a second. So like when you are leveling, we already talked about how you do your TP extravaganza around the world. When you are leveling though, do you think we can take a bull? I think we can take a bull.
Let's try
it.
I'll bash.
I'll go wimpy. Yep. So right there, you calling out that you're going to bash is really common in XP groups. when someone is the basher or assigned the basher, it's important that the other people don't bash. Because when you're, like, for instance, if I was bashing at the same time as him right now, that will reduce my offensive bonus in order to, like, for our parry split on the bull, and it makes it less likely that his bash is going to work. So we kind of, if you have multiple people bashing, you're reducing the chance that any one of those bashes is going to land.
Especially important as you're a lowbie because your offensive bonus is really low already.
Exactly. And that's one of those things that you really don't know unless you're an experienced player. But it makes a big difference just having one person bashing at a time. All right, we killed that. That wasn't too bad. Let's keep going. Let's get a cow. Do some of the easier XP. But yeah, right around this level 6-7. Right, we're definitely still in the poor area, but we probably should be upgrading a little bit. What's like the kind of early level set that you'd probably go for? Like, are you kind of on the leathers or chains scenario? Like, what's your set that you prefer?
So if you can find it in a shop, and it's often really cheap, but the fine rigid leather it's really light and it's got good absorb. So that's excellent armor if you can find it.
It's good armor, incredibly cheap. It's a couple silver, right?
So, but other than that, like, you know, chains, like, basically I'm kind of like operating off of poverty economics, like whatever I can afford, you know. But there are some load places where you can get these, like, floor screen cloak, you know, which gives your moves and dodge bonus, you know, affects your moves and your dodge bonus. But yeah, I mean, I'm always like hunting around and scavenging, and then just kind of just picking up stuff I can collect, unless people kit me out, you know. People tend to do that to newbies. And I think their intentions are good, like giving them a full set of fine metal or whatever. But I actually don't think that is very helpful to the newbie as they learn the game. Because they all automatically become like this god compared to the mobs around them.
Mm-hmm.
And well, it's helpful and cool. And I remember people would give me equipment when I was first starting out, or I remember I got my first enchanted Ekid or first enchanted battle axe, and I felt like a god. Something. Yeah, and you're like, oh, this is so cool. But going back to what we were talking about with the equipment glut and just the overpowered nature of you know, or the power level, I guess, of players, it's like it's not the best thing, I think, to do that to pure newbies, you know. So.
Exact. I'm 100% on the same page. It also kind of robs them. Well, I don't want to say robs them because it's not like it's not like a disservice necessarily or anything, but like a lot of how we view equipment is based off of how hard it is to get, right? And if you really don't know, like, how do I get a ruby, right? It's like, oh my goodness, I had to get 50 gold. I remember the first time I got a ruby, I was like, oh my goodness, like my prized possession.
My precious.
You know? But like if you know how to get a ruby, then it makes it so that like losing that ruby is much less of a, you know, devastating loss. And so like like that's one of the reasons why it's hard for newbies, I think, to get into PK too, is because like if you lose a set as a newbie or you know, someone who's not particularly familiar with, like, you know, a lot of the places to get equipment, it makes it a lot more devastating than like, you know, you or I, where it's like, okay, if I need a full metal set and whatever, you know, okay, that's gonna be 15 minutes of work and we're done,
right?
You know, or even losing like shining or something, like, okay, whatever, like, yeah, plate shining is a little bit painful, but like if I lose, you know, Moria shining, like, all right, that's gonna be an extra, you know, probably hour or two of looking for this, but like I know how to get it, you know.
Also the thing about PK, especially as you become more adept at it or just more experienced with how the sort of ebb and flow of it, sure, you'll die, but if you keep at it, you could kill someone and get a full set within a few minutes.
Exactly.
Like, that is not unheard of. So like, yeah, it's devastating, that sucks, but like if you're with a group or you're getting, you know, get more practice at it, it's kind of easy come, easy go in some cases. I mean, there are certain items that are more devastating to lose, like shining metal, but oh well, you know, like,
yeah,
that's just how I approach it.
You do need to have some real stakes, you know, but for the most part, but you're exactly right. Going back to the original point of like, just giving people equipment is very nice, but it makes it difficult for them to learn how to get the equipment themselves. You know, it's the old, like, you know, give a man a fish and you teach him, or you feed him for a day.
He eats for a day, but if you teach him how to fish, he eats for his life or whatever. Yeah,
it's the same thing here. Can you tank this one actually?
Yep.
Thanks.
I'll go wimpy. Sorry.
And so I think I'm on the exact same page as you on this one. So we're running around right now, just killing some random stuff. And I don't think we have. I've got 0 gold, and I don't think I have much silver. I got 7 silver. How much silver do you have?
13 silver. So we can put it together and maybe get someone something.
We probably could. Before we do that though, let's how about you tell me like what's your let's come up with the strategies for going to get some gold, and let's go get some gold, and then go buy something with it.
Oh gosh. So a good way to get gold at this level and in this area, and maybe it's a little bit boring, but we can go check it out, is just go kill the stags and the wolves and stuff and
pelts. Okay.
Greyhaven, yeah, and sell pelts.
Perfect.
That's one strategy as a lowbie. There's not many things that we're killing that drop equipment, like bandits or whatever. There are a few to the north of us, but that's another strategy to get gold as a lowbie. But yeah, maybe the pelt game is what we should do.
Let's do that. Now. So we're going to go to the northwest of Greyhaven's on the west side, Flea. So nice. And this is kind of south
Stag.
of oh yeah, stag right there. It's southeast of Blue Mountains. Lots of stags and deer load around here. There's also some load spots where equipment loads on the ground that you can get and sell. And that's kind of marked on the map here with these kind of icons if you do end up seeing this. But we're gonna kind of ignore those for right now, because those are nice finds, and they are well, you know what, we'll grab one of them. Did we load anything?
Yep, I got a pelt.
Nice. All right, so we're going to use this as an example. We got this tree trunk here, and there's a hatchet in the tree trunk, so we'll get this hatchet. I cannot type today, and we can go sell this. But for the most part, we'll just do kind of scavenger type.
And for newbies, when you look on your map and you see like the little icons that look like a cross sword or a little shield, or right sometimes both, right, those are indications that a weapon or a piece of equipment is loading in that room.
Exactly. And you can go around and find some of those, and that really is the way to go in some scenarios. I'm actually really low moves. Why am I so low moves?
Do you want? You're poisoned. I think it's probably something.
Maybe that's why. Yeah, We'll do a quick little 20-second break here, and then get some stags around here. But yeah, I actually kind of wish I genuinely wish there was a little bit more of the kind of the kill the stags and get the pelts, like an economy type thing going on. Maybe even you could like grow something or like sell potatoes, and it wasn't like if you gather potatoes and like vegetables, like you get like copper out of it. And maybe if you got a silver or two, that might be a little bit more interesting. Because
in Lord of the Rings Online, there's a whole bunch of trade skills that going back to crafting, and one of them is farming and cooking. And so if you could like farm high quality food, and then you could cook high quality things that give buffs to you, or you could sell it for money or whatever. Because right now cooking is limited to like, you know, you can get the casserole and do a few things, or the Bannock's. But fun. It's not. It's kind of. It's very primitive. I guess there's a lot of room there.
Yeah, I would say like generating gold as a lowbie is probably the most like random maybe event. I don't actually have any light right now, so I'm gonna have to use your light here.
Let me give you an oil.
Oh, you got oil? Okay, great. Yeah, like there's not a very good straightforward path of like, this is how you make money. It's like, well, go around and kill things eventually and then loot their corpses, you know, which is like, okay, that's good, but it's not like what do you do at level 2, you know? So let's see if we can get this guy.
Don't forget to light it too.
Got the bash. Elks give lots of, they also provide a lot of meat. It was cool. It would be cool maybe if you could like maybe meat doesn't cost that much, but you cook the meat, which you already can do, and it does sell for a little bit more, but like maybe you put it into a casserole or something, and that genuinely is worth some money. That'd be really cool.
I love the dumpling quest. I think I mentioned that. It starts in Bree, and you go to the Shire, and you actually get a Dale's pony out of it. But that is the dialogue's funny, and you get like a specialty food. You can also buy it at the bakery there, I think too. But I don't know. I like that kind of thing. It's fun.
Yeah, I agree. I like just the small things. The small things also kind of gives you something to do. This is a classic MUME problem where, I mean, we're already experiencing it in these little 0 to heroes, right? But it's kind of hard to have a session less than 30 minutes, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
But if there was something, then, you know, you could log on and like, yeah, I could get 4 gold for this, and just, you know, making some dumplings or something. That'd be really dope. That'd be really dope. All right, we load anything?
Let's see.
So in order to butcher a corpse, you do need to be
No pelt.
wearing a knife on your belt or holding a knife or something. Or I think it can be in your inventory, but you do need a knife. All right, wine, fill lantern, light lantern. There we go. All right, now we're talking. All right. Fallow deer, not worth a lot of XP, but they are worth, they do sometimes drop pelts. Do you know if any, like, stags versus elks versus fallow deer, like, if they have different chances of loading pelts?
I believe so. I don't know with certainty, but stags definitely seem to load the most often.
Nice. Here, roe deer. I think another one just left east. I'll butcher this one. I remember when you do this under the lobby, you're running around. Oh, we got one. Nice. And you're killing everything, and you're butchering stuff, and you're just after the pelts because you want the money. But then all of a sudden you end up with like 10 pieces of meat in your inventory, and it weighs a ton.
It's heavy, yeah.
Nice. All right, we'll get maybe 2 more pelts, something like that.
When you cook meat, you can either cook it with a pan over a campfire or a fireplace, and that smokes the meat. But if you have salt in your inventory, you can also cure the meat. And each of those sort of phases of cooking makes the meat more filling and also lasts longer. It doesn't decay as quickly. And so,
yeah,
just a tip for newbies, I guess.
You know what? Actually, you bring up a great point. Let's go to town now because we got a couple pelts. I've got 3 pelts. How many pelts you got?
I have 1.
1 pelt. Well, okay, let's get... Oh, we got to kill these roots here.
We can sell to the... He also gives the quest for the U-bow to the south of us. He'll buy pelts.
Fur trader below us.
Yeah.
Let's go get like 2 more pelts then. So we each have like 3. And I think this is something that maybe we're not great at least I'm not great at, is, I don't know about you, but I get super lazy as an experienced player. I'm like, I don't know. I don't need oil. I know where I'm going. And, like, I don't need extra food. I'll figure it out. Like, but as a newbie, like, good principles are like, yeah, you should be well stocked on your journey. So you should like have food in your backpack or whatever, and you should have oil stocks, and you should be ready to go.
Those animals, the marlin, I think we just passed, they'll drop pelts as well.
Oh, really?
Like that thing. Yeah, Martin.
I did not know that.
They do load pelt.
Nice. Let's give this a shot. What is a martin? I thought it was a bird.
It's like a
Oh yeah, it is.
Tree dwelling mammal.
Nice. Nice. All right, so
I think that's where you get sable from. Anyway, yeah, they're a pelt animal.
All right, so now we both got some pelts. We're going to go to the trapper over here. Let's see if he's open. He is open.
15 silver for 3 pelts. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and now we can actually buy some stuff. I'm also going to sell this. Actually, I'm going to keep this venison. Let's go into town so we can get some salt, and let's get a pan, and then maybe upgrade our equipment at the armorer a little bit.
Don't forget to remove your weapon if you get citizenship.
Did I get citizenship? I am citizen here.
Okay, I'll have to do that.
So I think you're the secretary's right here. The secretary's right here. So yeah, whenever you go into a town the first time, always got to make sure you get a citizenship, and you, or at the very least, remove your weapon, because otherwise you're gonna be charged with brandishing a weapon in a town. Okay, so let's you got extra oil and stuff. I'm just going to demonstrate buying oil. So we got these little dark colored flasks here. They carry your oil because you've got a lantern here. In order to see in the dark, you have to have a lit lantern, but it burns oil, so you have to periodically refill it. So we're going to go ahead and buy a... Here, I'm going to give you your flask back. Oh my goodness, flask built, and we're going to list flask, and we're going to buy... You can just use oil too. Just buy oil. All right, so we got this flask, and then you fill up your lantern just like so, and very nice. Okay, cool.
Another thing about lanterns and torches, this isn't the case so much when you're a lobby, but as you progress through the game, there will be cases where you need an open flame to progress. So like if you have to burn webs or burn ice, or there's certain environmental reasons for having a flask, so and a lantern or a torch. So that's just something to keep in mind.
Exactly. All right, so I got a pan. Do you want a pan as well?
Oh, we can share a pan.
We'll share a pan.
It's fine, yeah.
Nice. Germs aren't a thing in
they are. You can get diseases.
That's true. They actually are. They are. All right. So we are at the armorer now, and I'm going to sell that hatchet for a little bit of money that we picked up. 2 silver, not too bad. So the pelts were more effective. All right. So I'm going to take a look at myself, and I'm going to look at build here. All right. So we're both wearing some like plain trousers and a soft jerkin. So that is not very much. This soft leather jerkin is in the leather category, and it's not a lot of protection. Plain trousers, anything plain that doesn't have any like leather or metal or chain associated with it, is just cloth. So it is very weak. So Build is buying some stuff right now. He's buying the sturdy, which is kind of a qualifier, and he's getting the rigid leather sets, which are very cost efficient. So he's going to be buying that. Since he is buying that, he's probably going to be the tank in this scenario. I am going to be then aiming for, I'm going to look for a weapon that will be a little bit more damage than my weapon. So the way you can do that is I can consider my weapon. So consider spear. It's a stabbing weapon. Yes, true. It is flawless, brand new, very nice. Average while attacking, poor while defending, speed is slow, and inflicts little damage. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to list spear here, and we're going to show the spears that they have for sale. And it'll kind of give me the same spiel. So, ooh, there's a steel shafted spear here, which is only 17 silver. Let's take a look at this. Awful while attacking, average while defending, speed is slow, and inflicts average damage. So it's going to do more damage, but it's also going to ruin my offensive bonus a lot here, which is going to hurt our bashing. Later on, when you can enchant this stuff, this is a great idea. Right now, I don't know about you, but I think this is actually a poor idea. So let's take a look at this twisted spear. Awful while attacking, average while defending. Its speed is average and inflicts low damage. That's not great either.
Your options might be pretty limited right now.
Broad spear. You know what? We're going to here we go. Broad spear. Average while attacking, poor while defending, speed is slow, and average damage. So this is going to hit a little bit harder. So we're going to go with a broad spear here. Wield spear, and we're going to sell the long spear because we don't need that one right anymore. Build now has his leather set. Do you want to upgrade your weapon at all?
I have 3 silver, and so I'm just going to stick with the backsword for now.
All right, here I've got a whole gold right now. I'm going to give you 10 silver, and let's see what you can go with here. And if you wanted to kind of describe what you're going through here.
Let's see here. There is, I think it's serrated scimitar that actually. Oh no, that's a little bit out of my price range. Let's see here. You know, I am just going. So how much? I got 13 silver.
You can also do the trick where you kind of look at. You look at the conditions of the weapons and you buy the really crappy condition weapon.
That's true.
Obviously,
I guess I would like a long sword, but let me see.
The vendor always tries to sell you the most expensive stuff first, but you gotta sometimes dig a little bit to see the crappy stuff.
I can.
Wow,
I can't even afford. Yeah, I'm just gonna stick with the sword then. I think for now.
All right, we'll do that then. In that case, also, I am going to follow you now, so you're going to be leading. Let's take a look at shields here real quick. Maybe we can get you a better shield. Yeah, there's some shields here that I think are.
I give you some.
Because you're using what shield?
I am using a small wooden shield.
All right, that is a very, very crappy shield.
That's a very not.
Let's do a spiked shield here. Here, I'm going to give you 10 silver again to build. Spike shields are pretty decent.
I can't afford it. I only have 13 silver.
A spike shield is how much?
It's 16 silver.
16?
Let's go kill a few more animals, or.
Well, I'll give you the silver right now, and then we'll go kill some more animals.
Okay.
There we go.
Thank you.
That should cover it. Right. But as you can kind of see, we're strategizing here a little bit. We're trying to have Build, who's going to be kind of taking on the role of a tank here, and because of that, he's going to be leading. Having kind of the defensive gear, and I don't need the defensive gear since I'm going to be behind him, and we're kind of primarily focusing on my weapon doing more damage and hitting harder. Should
we get more pelts, or do you want to go to the east of Grey Havens and kill some wolves and stuff?
let's go kill some wolves and stuff. Let's mix it up a little bit.
Okay.
XP wise, I've got 18k to my next level. What about you?
I need 14k to get to 7.
Okay, nice. So we're both kind of in the same place right now. I think for sure we can get to level 8 by the end of this.
TP's withstand.
Mm-hmm. And next time we're hungry, we're good right now. Actually, you know what? Let's see here. I do still have some venison. Let's go actually and camp for a second. Let's camp for a second. And let's do a little cooking here just to have some meat ready to go. All right. And now, since I'm wearing my pan, now I can cook meat. And it's going to give us a little bit of time here that we have to wait. And then, boom, we got some smoked piece of venison now. Which means that, one, yeah, just like Eric was saying, this is going to last a lot longer. But it's also going to be a lot more filling now. So we're not going to need to carry as much meat, which is kind of heavy. All right, I'm ready.
Just one piece? Cool.
I only have one piece right now. We'll get more piece. Okay. Do you have a skin yet?
I can even butcher this.
Oh, yeah.
I have a cup.
Here, I have a cup too. Let me go ahead and camp and I'll do some more cooking here. Actually, let me give you the pan so you can do some cooking. Yeah, this is one of the reasons also why grouping is really, I highly recommend. I know a lot of beginners kind of end up doing their own thing, but I really recommend trying to group as early as possible because it's really useful being able to work as a team in this game. Like very
I have strong opinions about grouping and certain things that prohibit grouping. Once you start XPing, I'll explain.
Like in terms of, well, we'll get to the XP and then we'll talk.
Just
about
wait,
it.
just wait. Yeah, I mean, wet your palate.
You just unload a tirade about.
I'm gonna crash out.
So as you can tell, there's a fair bit of movement that we're doing. We're doing a lot of traveling here. Oftentimes in the earlier levels, it's highly recommended getting pretty good practices in ride and wilderness so that you can move around the map relatively easily because travel is super important in this game.
I'm just gonna look for wolves and bulls and stuff.
Yeah, there should be some bulls around here. Oh, there we go. We got an elk.
So, I'm trying to bash it.
Yeah, let the tirade.
Sorry. Currently, there's a few options. Okay, so first of all, the concept of the Fellowship is as canon as it gets. Mm-hmm. And it's called the Fellowship of the Ring for a reason. So I'm 100% in agreement that newbies and anyone really should be grouping. I do think there's a sweet spot for grouping. I like to keep my group around 3 people.
Mm-hmm.
You find another.
Yeah, more than that, it starts getting a little. There's a bunch of penalties that start coming in, and yeah, 3 is a really good number.
And I am a big fan of like followers, not just in MUME, but in other games. And there are a few options for players within MUME. You can either, as we talked about last time, you can buy animals from the stable or the pet store that help you out. And while their impact is pretty limited, they are there. Mm-hmm. They're pretty cheap too. I'm
thirsty, by the way, so after this fight,
okay, I'll stop by some water.
And I actually do have a beer bottle, I think, from one of our last times. I think when we celebrated last time. So, and we can also use these.
Fill that up with water. Yeah, it's the hobo life, man. And if you're a free people, you can access what are called citizen mercenaries, mm-hmm. and they typically load in the human towns. So, Bree, Fornost, and Tharbet.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get some water.
All right, pour water flask. Give flask build. Some water. So
thank you.
Don't drink the oil, but that is the one of those flasks has. And then I'll pour bottle. Pour. Oh, 1 second. Go back.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Pour water bottle. All right. Boom. Beer bottle is filled with water. We're good to go.
Oops.
Just mount is being stubborn. Nice. Anyway, you were saying about the mercenaries?
So those are a great option for lobies. Mm-hmm. One of my pet peeves, however, because I view Citizen Mercs as a lobby tool, if you will, is seeing like level 50 people or level 70 people with mercenaries. They're not grouping with anyone, and they're using these mobs, and it's like, come on, like, those are, in my mind, they're meant for lowbies. So that's one thing. But fair enough, there's not a lot of options. I do think we should have more options. As you get higher in level as a free person, you can actually find a wood elf follower in Emin, and he will follow you around, and he bashes for usually powerful. So there's that component. Now, let's find more stuff, and I'll continue blabbing.
Some snakes, nice.
I am a huge, like, I hate charm, and I know charm is meta and it's powerful. That snake go.
It ran away.
But it, in my opinion, it trivializes a lot of our super mob content. It allows it kind of removes the necessity to group with people. It breaks the game in a lot of ways that I think aren't healthy. But the big thing, one of my big bugbears with charm, is that it does discourage grouping, and I think that's, now some people do group with charm, and of course that can work. It's always nuance to these things, but I do think that going back to our original comment, if there's an opportunity to group with people, this is a game that's centered on the fellowship and meeting people and so on. So anyway.
No, I'm very much with you. And I think most people agree that. So the reason that charm is like a tough subject is oftentimes there aren't people to group with, and it makes sense that the game should be playable by yourself, right? Like that's a fair argument. But like you're saying, at the very least from a balance perspective, you can pull things off with charmies that you just can't pull. Like you need 2 to 3 times the group size to pull off with real players. Like the fact that you can solo so much of Moria by yourself with just charm is game breaking, right? Like it completely throws everything off, right? And on the one hand, I do have a little bit of a soft spot for it, simply because when you play a game like this, like finding exploits, like exploiting the game, is very fun. Like you find a secret, like, oh, look at this works, and there's some really cool strategies there. But from like a game health standpoint, it's bad. It's bad.
I agree, and we need those types of players. I'm not one of those players. Like when I approach a situation, I'm always thinking, oh, this is how it's supposed to be, how it's supposed to be done, and I don't kind of press the margins in that way, and that makes me maybe a less creative player in that regard. Oh, cool! We did that. Cool.
I feel like, I think what but kind of your point is that, like, it's fine for those things to exist, but with charm, it's too obvious. It's too easy, right? There's a difference between like, wow, I figured out this really cool, clever thing, versus, I can just charm.
I'm just blasting through everything.
And, yeah, exactly, right. There's 2 different things.
What the thing I try to do when I play MUME is, whether I'm doing stuff as Immortal or playing Immortal, is this comporting with the spirit of the game, how I've designed it, or how I've conceptualized that, and so is it comporting with the spirit of the game to never group with someone and just have a bunch of charmies and blend through content? I mean, yeah, that might be fun for a certain type of player, but is that healthy for the game? And my argument would be not necessarily in a lot of cases. And sure, there's certainly counter arguments to that, but I feel that we should be grouping. And whether we start having bonuses for groups, like a fellowship bonus or whatever that is, I think that would be an interesting avenue to explore.
Agreed. We're going to take a quick pause, actually go back to there, because it's a good opportunity. So now we just killed some bandits, and bandits are different than the stuff we've been killing before, right? Which are mostly like stags and wolves and stuff. As these are human characters, right? They're evil human characters, so it's okay. But these guys actually do load gear, so now this is a common way of, once you kind of get to this level of gaining money, is we're going to kill them. This is kind of honestly one of the biggest gameplay loops in the game, is you kill someone and then you take their stuff. So we're going to go ahead and take some of the valuable stuff. Swords usually tend to be relatively valuable. Shields are pretty valuable. They're wearing... oops, get shield. Corpse. Get shield. All corpse. Nice. And some other stuff can be valuable. We'll just do the swords and shields for now, but that's another great way of making money. Yeah, shoes are valuable.
Pro tip, heavy shoes are worth a lot. So if you see heavy shoes, they're worth a few silver. So.
And another thing also we're going to do here is, as you can see, my inventory is filling up here. This means that I'm going to be very heavy, which means that walking around is I'm going to lose a lot of movement points. It's going to be hard to move around. So we're going to give all this gear to our mounts here. And then that allows us to walk around being light. And we're kind of using our mounts as kind of transport vehicles here. Which I do like. I like the idea of kind of caravanning. I like the idea of, you know, if someone hits your horse and you get thrown off of it, like it's theirs now, right? Like keeping stuff off of you. That is another pet peeve I have, like the fact that people can hoard so much stuff. I think it's ridiculous that people like the carry size for backpacks and sables. I think should be dramatically lower. Like I think you should really have to kind of make some real choices about what I want to hold versus like I'm just gonna take everything, you know.
And that's really important for scouts in particular because it affects their sneak and their back step chance. But for most everyone else, it doesn't really have an impact other than like, you know, as going back to the power creep and stuff that we've talked about before, it's so easy to get moves and regen moves. And it's less of it used to be more important, but not so much anymore.
Well, right now the restriction is entirely based on weight. And not like, oh, I only have so much capacity, which like that bothers me again from like a thematic standpoint. Like, how do you have 77 scrolls in your backpack?
A house
like,
in your backpack,
how does
basically.
It fit in there, you know? I think that's just, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
I always thought, because there's a few items that are container items that, you know, look cool or like the sable pouch in particular is what I'm thinking about. And, you know, that it's got a good it's good carrying capacity and it can fit on your belt and stuff, but really like nice grats. You rescue.
No, you hit level 2.
But I was thinking like to make it more interesting is like if you have a sable pouch and you keep that on your belt, well maybe that's an item you can take stuff out in combat and use, you know, whereas the other ones don't have that ability. And I don't know. That item is not as important as it used to be.
Yeah, at the very least, I think like stuff like sacks and backpacks and like non-legend gear, like you just shouldn't be able to put so much freaking stuff in there. Like,
yeah,
relax, you know, like the real pouches, like the regular pouches, I think those are great, right? You can put stuff in it, but like there's you reach the cap very quickly, and then you have to choose like, what do I want, right? And I think that's you know, that's healthy. But anyway,
another sort of dead item is the money bag. You know, you can put 100 gold in there, but it's not like, and it's supposed to protect you from stealing or from being stolen and have your gold stolen from you, but it's not really that big of a deal. And so it's like you'll find newbies and like using the money bag, and you know, it's cool and thematic and whatever, but it's not as interesting as it could be.
Wow, we were just cruising through wolves here, crushing through wolves.
I leveled 7 as well. Cool.
Yeah, so this is right about when we got some gear now, and we're getting up in levels. I'm level 8 now, and you're level 7.
Yep.
And this is kind of how XP should start to look, where you're just kind of crushing through large chunks of enemies without having to do a ton of regen. We probably will have to regen before too long here, but like this is like if you're a newbie watching this is kind of the flow you want to get to. You're just running around and you're just killing stuff and you're constantly kind of going, and then maybe after like 20 minutes or something, then maybe you need a regen.
And be mindful, we're only 2 people, and like, you know, one of us is buffing or tanking and one of us is bashing, and we're flowing pretty well. Casters and clerics will struggle a little bit at this level because they're not going to be doing as much hit damage as us, and their spells won't work as well. But you really only need another person or another 2 people, and you can just cruise.
Exactly. So, but this is a pretty good pace.
We'll go into this. There's a dwarven tomb to the south of us we're headed towards, and there'll be some equipment in there we can pick through.
Find some secrets. Take some stuff from dead dwarves, which is good because
yes, it's good.
The best dwarf is a dead dwarf. So we're
gonna spoken like a true orc.
I gotta say, I'm a dwarf hater. I'm absolutely a dwarf hater.
Someone's already been here. It looks.
We were not.
Kill this wolf though. That's in here.
Nice. We're also at the kind of level right now. So again, if you're going to be watching this and you're hopefully playing with a buddy or something, and you got 2 people, like level 8 /7, you can start taking on most things that are going to be just kind of out in the open, or at least in the good zones, right? You don't really need to worry too much about hitting something that looks evil and getting wrecked too hard. Whereas in the earlier levels that will be the case. Although obviously if you there's still plenty of stuff which will beat your ass out here. But in terms of like open world stuff, this is around the level where it'll start being relatively like, yeah, you should start killing pretty much anything you see.
As you go further east, as you said, even around Bree, in terms of wildlife, you'll start encountering a couple packs of like wargs, which are a little bit higher, or some bigger snakes, or there's vultures and sort of larger mammals and stuff. That's where you have to be a little bit more mindful. But yeah, like as you were saying, it's pretty much any open world animal you can handle.
Exactly, and kind of like very general. So not a rule of thumb, or not always true, but in general in MUME, the way you're looking at XP is the lower level you are, kind of first you want to aim for, you're just killing like animals, right? Insects are also like, I mean, think about it, they're small, right? They're good things to kill, things like butterflies and whatever. But yeah, you kill animals, and then once you start kind of getting to the mid levels, you start moving into like kind of clearly evil animals or evil humans.
Men, yeah, bandits and the like. Yeah.
And then kind of once you start getting into like the hero/legend levels, that's when you're really not going to be killing as much kind of this neutral stuff. You're going to really start killing like evil stuff. On the dark side, that's not really the case at all, because you can start killing good side characters really early. But
you can also kill your own kind, like orcs XP on other orc mobs a lot.
Yeah, it's a whole culture shift.
Yeah,
I am hungry, so I'm gonna eat some of this pork. Do you need some of the smoked pork?
I'm fine. I still have a piece in my inventory.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and eat this then. Nice, and because we cooked it, now just one piece completely fills us up. Go ahead and kill this.
There are some brown bears in here, and I'm curious to see if we can handle one. I'm sure we can.
I think we can handle a brown bear. Yeah, brown bears
classic
are kind of,
mob.
Yeah, exactly. Just like you said, like brown bears are a staple mob where like I don't know like how you think about it, but like I think of like in terms of like, there's these tiers of character that I am and what level of XP I can handle. And brown bears is like, can I kill a brown bear or can I not? If I can't kill a brown bear, I am in this category. I'm a
right.
Missed that bash. That's not good. Also, I suppose we probably should have talked about this way earlier, but when we're in this scenario where someone's tanking and someone else is standing behind them and hitting the same target, we have these things called moods in MUME, and they are basically like your stance, right? So you can have an aggressive stance, or you can have what we call a wimpy stance, and it basically means that you're not going to hit very hard, but you're going to be more defensive. So in a situation like this, the player who is being hit by the opponent, so Build, who is being hit by the bear, should be in a defensive stance, so he should be on mood wimpy. And since I'm not getting hit by the bear, I'm the one that's trying to do damage. I'm standing behind him, and he's taking all the hits for me. I should be in aggressive stance, which means that I will do more damage, but if I do get hit, I will take more damage.
MUME has a really great help system, help database. Like you can do help mood, and it will list all that stuff. So if you're new to the game and you're not quite sure how to do something, try the help system. A lot of it is in sort of natural language, and so you don't need to type things in a certain technical way. And if it is more of a technical subject, the help system will kind of guide you towards that. At the bottom of each help file, there'll be like, did you mean this? Or for further information, see this. And so I would encourage newbies to check that out too.
Yeah, very good help system. But nice, we are handling these with ease. These bears ain't got nothing on us.
Good XP too.
Yeah, bears are very good XP. And they also provide furs.
Furs and meat, a lot of meat too.
Here, I can take this next one if you want. I'm going to start off with the bash, though. Nice. And I'm probably going to take a little bit more damage than him right now because I'm not wearing leathers, but in general, in general, it's a good idea to try to kind of keep your hit points relatively balanced.
Oh no.
In a perfect world, you're kind of all regenning at the same time, because otherwise, let's say I'm full hit points and he's, at 20% hit points. All of my regeneration time is going to waste because I'm still at full. So if you can have everybody regenerated at the same time, then everything just kind of flows a little bit more smoothly.
And in most cases, mana will regenerate more quickly than hit points. And so if you're cleric, and also the level of your mana, depending on the level of your mana, it will affect your regeneration rate. So if your cleric is regenerating mana more quickly, you can use that extra time to heal your fighter.
Exactly. And this is a close bat.
Oh,
Close battle. 12 hit points, plenty of time. Do I have any?
Let's regen a little bit. Sorry,
we'll regen.
I was spamming rescue there.
No, you're good. I could have fled out, but just a really bad habit by me. This is definitely something a newbie should do. Use your Wimpy, set Wimpy to like probably 30% hit points or something. So if you've got 130 like I've got, you should probably have at least 45 hit points. Would be a good place to have your Wimpy. I am a careless player, and I like playing with Wimpy on 0 because I don't like being forced to flee when I don't want to flee. But that's not a good idea.
Also, if you're not mindful of your Wimpy score, if you try to attack or something and you're below that threshold, it will give you a message like, you're too afraid to attack or something. And so if you're not quick about adjusting that number, it can be fatal.
Exactly. But we'll in a scenario like this where you kind of get a little bit maybe too low, because when you're in awful hit points, even one random hit from something can ruin your day. Before you move on, you could get to full hit points. We're probably not going to do that, but you at the very least want to be like 50%, 60%, just to I can move around and I'm not going to instantly die from some bullshit.
This is a relatively new addition to MUME, but you'll notice that every time we rest, we're making a campfire. And that's because when you sleep around a fire, not only do fires scare away animals, or have the chance to, but you get the comfortable buff, which aids in your regeneration rate, basically.
Yeah, it makes you regenerate. Do you know how much it makes you regenerate faster? Or
I don't know the number, but there are 2 tiers. There's comfortable, and then if you spend a long time sleeping in front of a fire, or even a bed or something like that, you can even sleep on a bench if you want, and you'll get the flag. There's a very comfortable flag, and they are different tiers, but I don't know how much they affect your rate.
Nice. Yeah, I don't know what it is either, but we're running relatively close to time, so I don't know. We probably have like 5 to 10 minutes left. Is there anything you want to hit in that time?
Let's try some. There's some robbers up here. Okay, yeah. I think they might kick our butt, but if not, we can give it a try, and then we'll head back up to Tower Hill.
We'll give it a try. You're pretty close to full health. I'm still wounded, but it's enough where I think we're good. So let's go out and try killing these robbers, and then we'll try selling some of the stuff that we got, and maybe finish with a smoke or a beer or something. Find some good food. But we both got a level, so far pretty good. Nice. And you can tell we're starting to really... I actually didn't even know this until very recently, because you're always learning new stuff about MUME. But every single time you see a message where you're hitting something, it'll be like, you strongly stab a gray wolf and shatter it, or whatever. So the strongly stab, or the whatever adjective comes before that, your descriptive noun or verb for how you hit them, stab or pierce or crush or whatever, right? That tells you kind of in an absolute sense a range of hit points that you probably hit them for. And I don't remember what the exact range is, but like if you lightly hit, it's like 5 to 10 hit points, and if you hit them extremely hard or strongly hit or something, it's like close to 20 or something. Anyway, you can look this up on one of the MUME wikis. But then the shatters it or tickles it is a kind of a relative indicator of how much hit points they have left. So if you're tickling someone, even if you're hitting them really hard with a strong stab, that means that you hit them hard, but they have a lot of hit points left. And if you are shattering them, that means that they don't have any hit points left, which everyone can kind of like intuitively get, but I didn't realize that it was like so Like it's very fine.
Like systematic.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can hit something extremely hard and tickle it. You're like, oh, I hit them really hard, or maybe the max I can do for my damage. But yeah, as you say, they have a lot of hit points left.
Exactly. So point is that reading the text messages, which is hard to read them in the spam, but like there is a lot of data that it's actually telling you there. It's not just descriptive, like you hit him. You know, it's genuinely telling you, which is important because when you're actually fighting something, if you start fighting it and it's like you barely pierce this thing and tickle it, it's like, well, you're not doing much damage to this thing, so maybe you shouldn't be fighting this thing. Nice, kill the porcupine.
All right. Yeah, the robbers were dead, so someone else is experiencing.
Someone else. It's fine. We're the better looking XPers.
That's right. We are manly men.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. All right, so we're back in town now. So let's do a little, let's do some selling. Let's maybe do a little practicing, and then probably wrap up. So we're at the blacksmith. We're gonna go ahead and unsaddle the horses that we used. I'm gonna sell the shields here. I'm gonna sell the swords.
9 silver for the heavy shoes. So don't pass those up, guys.
Yeah, that's a lot. That is a lot. And I have a key here, which I don't want. Where did this key come from? Okay, sweet. Wonderful. Let's go check out the Warrior Guild. Do a little practicing because we level. Whenever you level, you should go practice. I'm actually maxed out, I think, on most of the skills here. So we'll have to... Oh, I'll get more rescue. Nice. Maybe hit up the Ranger Guild. And let's see here. Right around level 8 as a warrior, you probably could get like something like Cure Light. I probably wouldn't do that until like level 10 or so because it's not going to be very good. But you probably should. Oh, yeah, I definitely need more of these practices. So we want to get Climb and Swim. And it's also good to get maybe a couple practices in some scout abilities or thief abilities. Is there a scout guild around here?
Yep, we can go there. He's outside town.
Yeah, because they will. There's a couple. So even if you're a very pure class, you're gonna want to have a couple practices in other classes. For warriors, a good example is dodge. You're gonna want to learn a little bit of dodge, not a ton necessarily, but. Go ahead.
Little pick.
Yep. Pick is important. Allows you to pick locks and open doors that are locked, which is very useful.
It's helpful to get a point in search as well, because there'll be sometimes some cases where there'll be hidden exits, and search helps with that.
All right, I think we are in pretty good space here. And let's go ahead and have a little toast at the end here. Let's see, what do they?
Sure.
What do they got here? Let's do pints this time. Pints of ale. Boom. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, my stomach is full.
Oh, no, that's the worst. That's the classic MUME-ism where you're like, all right, guys, we're going to do like a round of beer and everyone's going to drink together, whatever, and then you're too full, so you can't drink it.
I'll save this.
That's okay.
I'll let the beer get warm, or it probably already is warm still, and I'll save it for next time.
We will save it for next time. But yeah, so that was a good little session. Pretty efficient, going through and kind of showing how this level of XP should probably work, and be a better player than us and not just run around with no light and no food
and group with your friends, or find friends and group with them.
Exactly. But thank you so much again, Eric, for hopping on.
Of course,
and
anytime.
Until next time.
Peace. Goodbye, everyone.